Hey guys, here we are at Rochford to talk about these two wines. So here we have the 2018 Rochford La Gauche and the 2018 Rochford La Droite. Now they're both blends, they're both inspired by the great wines of Bordeaux. The La Gauche is a predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon blend with a little bit of Cab Franc and a wee bit of Petit Verdot. And then the La Droite is predominantly Merlot with some Cab Franc. So the Yarra Valley has a long history of growing these Cabernet varieties. When the Yarra Valley had its renaissance in the late 60s, early 70s, it was pretty much these varieties which were the first that were replanted back then, and they seem to grow exceptionally well in this region. And 2018 being a warm, dry, sunny year was a perfect year for ripening all of these varieties. So the La Gauche, its name is a French name meaning left. So this wine is inspired by those left bank blends that we see in Bordeaux. Plenty of sort of rich, spicy Cabernet fruits there on the nose. Some red cherry, a little bit of bramble, that sort of thing. Again, rich red cherries on the palate. Some good tannin, love a bit of tannin in the Cabernet. But finishing with some good freshness from a bit of acid, which basically is the key to what makes these wines work so well in our region. Comparing the La Gauche to the La Droite, so this is a Merlot dominant blend, so it's going to be a bit rounder, a bit more darkly fruited, but a bit softer as well. Yeah, so we're getting a bit more plum, a little bit of chocolate, that sort of thing. Quite full, quite rich, but quite silky. Both of these would work perfectly with any pasta dishes, red meats, ragu, what have you. Perfectly interesting either or, but I think if possible, try both and open them together. It's quite an interesting contrast. You can see real similarities between the two, but they're quite different at the same time. But these really showcase why the Cabernet varieties work so well in this region of the Yarra Valley.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Rochford Wines. Another glorious day here in the Yarra Valley. To start the Rochford Estate story, I'd like to present to you the Yarra Valley Blanc de Blanc from 2018. So Blanc de Blanc is, as it describes, it's a white wine from a white grape, so it's exclusively from Chardonnay. This comes from our own vineyards here in the Yarra Valley, and as you can notice, it's under a crown seal, which is a new-ish closure that people are starting to invest in. It's convenient. It's certainly less problematic to open it than a champagne cork, wrestling away with the wire and all the rest of it. The other advantage of a crown seal is that you use no risk of cork taint going into the wine. So we like the wines to be presented to our consumers as we intended them to be. You'll also notice I'm just pouring into a conventional wine glass. If it was a salubrious day with swelligance happening, you'd probably go for a champagne flute, which always looks great. A lot of people enjoy drinking out of conventional glasses now because they get more aromatic impact. So there's a lovely bowl shape there that's containing the aromas. So hopefully we see something good. So Chardonnay, when it goes through that secondary fermentation and yeast aging, which all good method champenois does, tends to deliver hopefully still fruit characters which are based around citrus tones, so very crisp, lively acidity, lemon zest tones, but the yeast evolution tends to be of a toasty, slight brioche nature, quite sweet on the nose. And the longer that we age this wine with the yeast before we disgorge the yeast out and present the wine to the market, the more those sort of yeasty, toasty tones evolve. And certainly what I'm getting there. There's some nice colour there. I mean, that's a medium to pale sort of green yellow, which you get from Chardonnay. If Pinot Noir was in the blend, which is a conventional variety for sparkling, it would have perhaps a more straw coloured tone. plenty of lively gas on the palate, and those bubbles push all those aromatics and flavours into your palate. We're looking for a fairly lively wine with some length, and the fruit tannins help carry those wine flavours through to the end. Hope you enjoy.